presentation.
Yeah.
So he's going to talk, she's going to talk, and then they want to do questions together at the end. So there's no break. And he's she's here.
Yep.
The presentation is on, so it's ready to go.
And Toby, we're still doing 20 minutes.
Yeah, we'll
Yep.
take up the slack for the break.
Okay, that'll work. I'm going to sit in the back so I'm not waiting in people's faces. Unless you really want me to sit here, I'll sit here. I can come up here next time. I want to get my stuff done.
All right, we're starting.
Hello, good afternoon. So we're starting. We're starting with a presentation about emotion, and I will share this section with Susan. We divide the work. So I standing.
I'm timing.
Sharing,
I've got the signs.
and then you change it. So the first presentation is Sang Yong Bei, and is regarding axiomatic design and implementation of service-oriented university classes, emotions, and sexes.
Thank you. My name is Sang Yoon, and I will give you a presentation about my paper, Axiomatic Design and Implementation of a Service-Oriented University Class, Emotions and Senses. First of all, let me talk about my presentation overview. First of all, I will introduce why we do this research and for what. After literature review and contribution, I will explain our axiomatic design process. And finally, I will also introduce my application process and some sample of them. And my presentation will be concluded. Okay. As all of you know, education is very, very important. The billions of people spend decades of their lives in modern educational system. Especially Korean families spend more than $3,000 per year to educate one child, in addition to the public school system, even though Korean salaries are about half of US. Because they know education level correlates highly within personal success or salary. And furthermore, education is also very important for society. Education has been around for thousands of years, and education is an essential factor of controlling the success of nations. Like this, education is very important for both personal and society, but why do students often look like this? I guarantee all of you ever seen the classroom full of these students. Actually, the education is the part of the service economy, like a musical, or some movie, or food, coffee, or banking management, or some giving a gorgeous music. So we start from the question, can we extract the essence of another service system for education? So we aim to get axiomatic design of service-oriented university education for improved satisfaction of students and motivate them make a better world. Okay. Traditionally, the literature about education system has been focused on how to deliver it and how to organize the knowledge well. Lately, some people regard education system as a service like this. Some axiomatic design theory also sometimes implemented for education system, but it still focus on the content. But nowadays, every content of lecture can be delivered with the video lecture online lecture, something. So we attempt to propose the idea of general service perspective in university courses that include the stimulation of emotions and senses, and develop a list of prototype functional requirements and design parameters to support the design of courses, and design a university course that includes not only educational functions but service-oriented ones. And finally, we also discussed the implementation of such a course at KAIST. The stakeholder of education system is almost everyone, the students, teachers, or parents, or society. All of them highly related with education system. So we collected many various feedbacks and information from various sources like this. And with this data, we listed up the 259 customer needs, and we reorganized into 4 categories like this. The course content is about the content, what they will learn, what they will be learned, and the delivery method is how can the knowledge will be delivered to them. Students also want to appropriate evaluation policy for professors, and they also want to something non-typical things at the lecture. So they want to experience something at the lecture, because typical lecture and some knowledge are actually not memorable. So they want some memorable and impressive one. So this is some fraction about personal needs. And for mapping functional requirement, we benchmarked something. The Bloom's taxonomy explained well how the knowledge is organized in our brain. So it will helpful for make a function about content. And analytics learning styles also explain how to students get some knowledge. So it can apply to make a function about delivering method. And emotions and senses also implemented, because for experience, the emotionally delivered one cannot be hard to forget. And the senses is the most efficient way to touch them directly. With that, we made up the prototype functional requirement for education system. But before that, you may feel curious about why prototype. Because the education system is huge and has a lot of lower level system, there are a lot of university and a lot of department, a lot of course, chapter, lecture. So we cannot, we doesn't want to make a function for a specific topic. So we attempt to make a structural placeholder for education system. So this is our high-level functional requirement. And FR0 is established students' understanding of course knowledge map, and FRI is established cognitive domains for course topic I in students. Because that we didn't specify what topic is, so there is topic I and FRI. And FRA is evaluate course quality, and B is establish connections between course topic and student concerns. And FRC is magnify intensity of emotion the student associate with selected ideas. And prototype design parameters are simply stated as methods or provide something FR, because it depends on the course topic and application. So we remain that the specifying DP, the course designer will select DP. Prototype functional requirements and design parameters can be used for generic guidance and structural placeholder. And we provide example of the design parameters for some of the FRs in our example. This is the process of apply our prototype FRs and DPs. We made up the prototype FRs and DP, and the instructor or course designer may extract the function for their topic, specific topic, and match the design parameter naturally extract, and specify them for their topic. And they have to ordering and allocating because the lecture will be given via flow of time. So we have to concerning about the order, and because of the time flow, it can arise more coupled functions or design coupled function. So we have to also consider about that time dependency. So with this process, we implement our research to IE200 Introduction to Operation Research course at KAIST. Because the instructor of that course is our professor and me, so it is easy to realize, and we can get rapid feedback from the students, and we can give them any application of the material because it is introduction course, and most of the students who take that course is sophomore or freshman, so we possibly to create a life-changing experience for them. So I think most of you curious about how can implement it to course. So now I will provide an example of the lecture design. As this spring semester, we teach about operation research for students, and at the network modeling chapter, we give the lecture about network models and how to optimization and how to minimize transport cost. And after that, at the final time of lecture, we give the lecture about the food distribution. It composed of introduction and some actively solving section of 2 programming group, and the problem is also related with food distribution and network modeling. After that, we gave them some connection of the content and the emotion, and giving also some emotional things. This is the one of the connection slide because we explain that if we can minimize the distribution cost, we can give them, the poor children, we can give more food. And the terrible fact about world. So we attempt with this slide, it's just a sample, but we attempt to make a connection between the network modeling theory and the humanitarian topic. And let me show some emotional things we used at the lecture. I hope you can check how the emotion and sense will work. this is just a sample of our lecture. We use the redesigned material during whole spring semester, and we want to report the statistical results from anonymous course evaluation survey, but my school will have the data, will give the data next week. So we can just report some unsolicited email received near the end of semester. My professor tried to improve this course for many years, but never received this kind of email before. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, the education system is an essential element of modern society, and we embarked upon a service-oriented university course design process. With Axiomatic design methodology, we developed the customer needs and FRs and DPs, and we designed the KAIST IE 200 course. And instructors or course designers can use the prototype FRs and DPs to help guide course development. And we can further study about the statistical analysis of the student course evaluation data, and update with them. We can update our FRs and DPs with them. We also can implement the method for another course for improve our flexibility, and we can also study about further develop the detailed design process for user. Okay, even if one's lecture content is fantastically clear and complete, the unmotivated student will not absorb the materials. So we investigate the service-oriented approach toward a future where everyone enjoys learning. This is the end of my presentation, and thank you for attention.
For our presentation, some questions, please.
When I was curious, one of the first things that struck me, I like your paper very much. Something that struck me was from the educational models, particularly for looking at emotions and trying to motivate students in the classroom. There's an ARCS model by John Keller, Attention, Relevance, Confidence, and Satisfaction, that has instruments for measuring those as you progress through the learning process. I was thinking that might be something that could be helpful to further strengthen that area of your work if you continue that way in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? Everybody got very motivated and emotional. Oh, sorry.
Very, very interesting, and it's a different approach on how design courses. I congratulate you. I'm thinking about considering all the functional requirements that the design may have, considering that maybe in your country, but here in North America, we have some kind of organization who approve the programs in engineering, like Abbott and BCAPG in Canada. So they need an instrument to evaluate the competencies that the student would have at the end of his studies. So how do you integrate, how can we integrate this kind of requirement that we may have for a best design, best course of
Excuse me, but confidence? Or,
No, I'm talking about evaluation.
Evaluation.
Yes, evaluation of the learning that you may have in your course with this particular way of doing.
So you ask about the evaluation method for how they get the confidence or motivation rather than how they know well.
For example.
I think that Sam was telling more about the way of teaching and not the content of the teaching. I think that was
So we try to give the subkernel analysis for IE Chongde student, and we can also plan to some experiments or something to some student gives the ordinary lecture, not an official course, but some students give the ordinary lecture and some others give the redesigned lecture, and we can check the difference of confidence or something.
Or how they did on the standardized test.
Excuse me?
You want to check how they did on the standardized test. Did the students who were presented the material in a different way perform better on the standardized test than those students who did not have the different approach? That would give you an indicator of whether the reason why they did well would be the approach.
So you ask them.
Good emotions here. Take. Huge. That will present knowledge service interface as applications of axiomatic design.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yuqiu Hao. I come from Finland, University of Vaasa. My research is about the knowledge service in campus, the application of axiomatic design. First, I want to say thanks to Chris because his paper about the knowledge management and the axiomatic design inspired me to write this and to do research about this knowledge service with this axiomatic design. This is the agenda for today's presentation. First, I will give some introduction and also some research problems. Later on is the theoretical part, like some concept, how the knowledge service and how it's being applied in the university, and of course the principle of axiomatic design. Also the case study, the in practical part, I will present that, and then the conclusion. As all we know, knowledge is a very abstract and broad concept. It's a very important and it's a core element in many organizations. Knowledge management is a range of strategy and practices to identify, create, distribute, and adopt knowledge. It has been, it's become more and more popular now, especially in knowledge-extensive organizations, such as university. University, like WPI here, is a community with many scholars, students, and researchers. We are creating knowledge and generate different knowledge every day and spreading the knowledge. Although knowledge management brings a lot of benefits to university, there still some challenges remain. So, as long as the knowledge service, this new concept emerge, we are thinking to move one step further from the knowledge management to knowledge service. So, knowledge service, it provides a suite of service to transform knowledge and share knowledge and store knowledge. I will go through the concept more later. Within this new research area, we have this research question. What is the approach to design an effective tool to support knowledge service in education sector? With this research program, we have two research questions. First, what kind of knowledge should be included? The second one is, what new technology should be adopted to present knowledge? So here's some concept things. Information and knowledge are two different concepts, but they are closely connected. Information has the potential to create and generate knowledge. It depends on how you use the information. And in most organizations, they have this information management running there. In order to put it one step further, they have this knowledge management. And because the previous concept, knowledge management and knowledge service, knowledge management mostly concentrate on the information and the knowledge inside the organization. So the information service here extend the concept and also include some external information within this information service. And with this logic, we have knowledge service, which is a new research area. So this knowledge service will manage and utilize all the information and knowledge, both from the internal organization and the external organization. So this knowledge service can be applied in university. University can benefit from this knowledge service from several perspectives, such as for teaching and research, and also some daily administrative work. And there are several objects to be achieved. First is to create and maintain knowledge repositories, and second is